Every person who loved her told her to give him up. She refused. One night he repaid her. Celestia Okonkwo Park had adopted the pit bull, a 4-year-old named Remington, 78 pounds, former stray, history of defensive aggression. 3 years before her daughter Sable was born, the behavioral assessor had used the words not recommended and elevated risk. Celestia had thanked her and kept him. She worked with him for 14 months. She hired a professional trainer. She went to classes. She changed his diet, his routine, his sleep environment, his triggers. By the time Sable was born, Remington had been assessed 3 times, and each time the behaviorist had been slightly more reluctant to use the same cautionary language. By the 3rd assessment, the trainer said he had become one of the 10 most compliant dogs she had ever worked with. The extended family still did not believe it. The sister-in-law had declined to visit until Sable was 18 months, and Remington was, as she put it, used to the idea. Celestia had stopped arguing. Sable was 8 weeks old. On a Tuesday at 3:22 a.m., Remington sat up in the corner of the bedroom where he slept and made a sound Celestia had never heard from him. Not a bark. A high, sustained vocalization that landed somewhere between a cry and a whine. She was up before she was fully awake. Sable was in the bassinet. Her lips were pale. Her breathing was wrong. Present, but shallow and irregular in a way that Celestia recognized from a CPR refresher course 2 weeks before Sable was born. She called 911. She did infant CPR until the ambulance arrived. Sable had experienced an acute life-threatening event, a breath-holding spell secondary to an undetected cardiac conduction abnormality. The pediatric cardiologist, Dr. Nnamdi Eze, installed a cardiac monitor the following day. The condition was identified, managed, and Sable is now 4 years old with a normal cardiac rhythm and no restrictions. If you stay for stories about what animals notice before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Dr. Eze asked at the 1-year follow-up, what had woken her? My pit bull, the one everyone told me to give away before she was born. Eze did not say anything for a moment. Then he said, dogs detect CO2 accumulation in the local air during respiratory events before any audible change. He heard the silence in your daughter's breathing change. He told you, has your animal ever done something you couldn't explain? Until it was the only thing that made sense. Tell us in the comments, these stories deserve to be heard. The sister-in-law came to visit when Sable was 2. She did not apologize for the 18 months of absence. She sat on the living room couch with Remington lying at her feet and Sable climbing on him, and she did not say anything about the dog. Celestia did not require her to. She knew what Remington had done. The people who mattered knew. Every guardian deserves to be recognized, even the ones every person you loved once told you to give away. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Remington is 7 now. He sleeps in Sable's room. She has a small cardiac monitor that she wears on her wrist. He watches her sleep. He has not made the sound again in 4 years. He has not needed to. Tomorrow, there's another one. About a rescue border collie who refused to let a grandmother leave the house on the morning of her first TIA.